Was the one that gave me my first opportunity to into management. So I'm very grateful that the owners and the chairman that sees me there, and hopefully I brought them some success along the way. Unfortunately, it didn't end the way I wanted to end, but it certainly wasn't a football decision because winning the first trophy for the club and being in the position of fourth in the league was really left the club in a really good position. So from that point of view, yeah. But I'm excited. I'm very committed to football management, and that experience is valuable going forward for sure.
Are you still applying for jobs in England?
I'm still applying for jobs, period. And it just doesn't here in England. I'm a very ambitious manager.
How have you found the sort of the application process and the going about getting a manager's job in England?
Well, what I can tell you that football owes you no favors. So even though as a player, then you feel you have done great in the game, doesn't make, and people will argue that doesn't make you a good manager, right? So you often hear that. However, we don't see it the same for everybody. There were people, obviously, in this country who's been given 2 and 3 opportunities. Now, we talk about fair inclusion, diversion. You just be fair in the system. That's all I'm saying. And I don't feel like the black managers are being fairly treated. We somehow feel like we have to do 3 or 4 times more than before you get an opportunity, based on my experience. And now that I've got a little bit of an experience behind you, because that's always one of the common theme that you have to come across, that you haven't got the experience. And then, so how do you get the experience? I'm clear with my approach. I have one common goal, to be manager, and the only way you can be a good manager is to get the experience from being a manager, in my opinion. And so now that I have an experience, it's even more difficult to get a job, particularly in England. But we know that, and so it's never easy, and if it was going to be easy, then not too many of us will be doing it. So someone like myself who knows it's never going to be easy, I like the challenge and I like to define the odds. So I've always done that as a player, so I've just got to do the same as a manager.
Are you getting the chance to even speak to club owners, directors? Are you getting in the door at least there to face?
The simple answer is no. We're not even getting anywhere close to that. So you're applying for jobs and you're not even getting a response, let alone getting an interview. But if you talk to the black managers or black players who wants to be manager, that's one of the common things that usually comes up. Probably your CV probably doesn't even get anywhere near to being observed, or it's been bypassed without having an acknowledgement. So that's one of the things that you kind of know that is happening, that no one really tend to identify out there. You have to have a certain belief in what you're doing. If you don't believe it, then there's no point in doing it. And it's easy for me to walk away from the current situation, but I'm not, because I know deep down within me that there's a burning desire to be a good manager, and I've proven it even in a short stint that I can achieve it. I felt that as a player, and I feel that now as a manager. And it's about being consistent, kept the belief, and keep working away and plodding away and keep learning, watching, observing, doing your research, and hopefully that day will come along and then you're ready to go. One thing for sure, when it happens, you got to be ready to go on it, because it can catch you out by surprise. I can't really explain it really. It's just a magnificent feeling, something that I've looked forward to. I know we were strong enough to go on to win the title. We know the challenge, and Coley made it absolutely clear. I know he's had a little stealth with Saul, but he not interested. And the simple reason why Andy Cole is not interested, because he knows that it will never be fair across the board in giving a black managers an opportunity to manage. Someone as iconic as him don't want to get involved in football simply because of those rules. And so I could take the same route, I'm sure, but it's not in me. I like to define the odds. I like people who write you off and say you can't do this and you can't do that.